This is episode 171 of the Focused Mindset Podcast. Today, I'm going to tell you about some of my personal challenges and what I learned from them. My hope is that you can look at the stuff I went through and maybe you can relate to it. And maybe you too can find out some strategies that you can use in your next life crisis. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. This is the podcast where you learn how to build stronger connections and have better conversations using the solution-focused approach. I'm Cher Kretz. I'm a school counselor and a solution-focused life coach, and each week we learn new strategies so that we can build our families strong and be the person that we were always meant to be. You can learn more about our products and services by going to thefocusedmindset.com or hop over to Amazon to get 30 Days to Higher Hopes. Thank you for joining me today. We're wrapping up May, moving into June, and you may have noticed that I haven't been around as much as I normally am. I've had less podcasts than I expected in May. And thank you to those of you that have reached out and asked me, what's going on? How are you doing? And this is the episode where I tell you how I was doing. May has been a month that's full of unexpected events for me. That is nothing new in my life. As I reflect and look back on this time of the year, it seems like this season seems to be a bit more challenging, a bit more of a struggle. Do you have any season in your life that you feel that way? I ran into a friend and they said, yeah, it happens every October. And they know that there was a traumatic event that happened a few years back now in their life in October. And no matter what, their October is affected now. It's interesting that our mind is so powerful and strong that it can sense the seasons and the time of the year. And when we've gone through something, there's going to be a shift within us. I think it's really healthy for us to be aware of that and even plan for it. Not in a way where we're expecting to have doom and gloom, but that we can say, I'm aware of this cycle in my life. And what am I going to do to protect myself, to help myself be strong? Whatever season popped into your mind or month of the year that seems to be a struggle, I'm right there with you. And for May, it becomes a time of struggle, and this month was no different. At the very beginning of the month, I was excited. You guys know that I did my Marvelous May giveaways, and in my mind, I thought this is a wonderful way to reframe Mental Health Awareness Month, not only for the people on my in my email community that gets my newsletters and my special notes, but also for the people that listen to the podcast here for you. So I put together a resource where each and every week you are going to get 7 different videos to help you with supporting your mental health for not only you and also for your family and also for your clients if you're in the field of mental health or whatever. You could use them for whatever. Now, I did that. And if you guys missed any of them, please email me at share at the focused mindset, and I would love to send them to you. But those resources, that was practically all I got done in May. And the reason why is right at the beginning of the May, I got really sick. I normally don't get sick, but it just floored me. And I thought, that's okay. That's a week. It's a week that I lost. No big deal. And then, right as I was recovering, we got a phone call that my father in law's health had drastically declined. Now, his health had been up and down for the last year or so, but the doctor said, this is serious. We don't believe that if we take him off of the life support that he'll make it even an hour, they said. They said that, the different elements that he had been dealing with in his decline, um, they were beginning to take over. There was infection in his body, and it became very real for my husband and his siblings. And one sibling flew in. His brothers had to make some tough decisions. And within 1 week, he was from the hospital into hospice care. And the very next Sunday, he passed away. And as you can imagine, that completely shook our entire family, our um, just it humbled us, it quieted us, it hurts, to lose somebody you love, but there's a lot more emotions that go into it as well because, life keeps moving and you've got to do the things that you need to do. As any of you know that's in education, it's the last month of school. I mean, probably it's arguably the busiest month of the year as well. So, I'm sitting in the middle of the month thinking, we've lost a loved one. Um, I'm trying to do what I can to support my husband through that loss, which is something that he's sorting out. He handled it beautifully. And we're also in a place where I have a whole half of a month left. And there's that little voice within me that said, "Oh my gosh, you're behind. You haven't got everything done. Look at all that you hope to do for Mental Health Awareness Month. You, as a counselor, as a mental health professional, get with it." Well, that was the voice that I needed to quiet in that moment. And I feel that there's a voice in each one of us when we're trying to have a focused mindset and we're trying to be on it all the time that can be a negative rather than a positive. Sometimes the best way that we can have a focused mindset is to be able to be kind to ourselves. I had forgotten in that moment. And I'd like to say that that popped into my mind all by myself, and that with all the things that I know about mental health, that I just thought, now is the time to be kind. Now is the time for me to give myself a minute. But honestly, it happened after I reached out to a mentor friend of mine. Many of you know that Dr. Linda Metcalf is also somebody that I'm able to lean on in different times of struggles. And I came in contact with her specifically because her conference is coming up, like I've mentioned to you before, and she was solidifying some details about it. I was fortunate enough to be accepted to be one of the speakers, and I was incredibly excited about it. But then I also had to tell her, "Wow, I've been struggling," and she texted me back just the sentence of "Be kind to yourself." And I read those words and it hit me. I do need to be kind to myself. I do need to realize that Mental Health Awareness Month happens to be a month that I need to think about my own mental wellness. It happens to be a month that I need to take mindfulness to a new level, take my own study, my own prayer life, my own personal relaxation, and take it seriously. Because if not, that voice that wants to say, "Are you doing enough?" wants to overpower me and make me feel terrible. It's so interesting how the voice within us that can motivate us to do the right, in some incidences, that's the same voice that we need to quiet. And that's the journey that I've been on this month. I needed to quiet the voice that told me I needed to be um, doing everything, which we never need to do everything. I say that in jest, but I needed to quiet the voice that was trying to make me feel inadequate. And then rather than that, know that I'm more not only adequate, but I'm doing exactly what I need to do when I'm kind to myself. And I want to ask you, is there an area of your life that you're not being kind? You're not treating yourself in the same way that you would treat the person that you care about, a person that would come to you struggling, a person um, that is within your sphere of influence that you want to be able to make their life better. Maybe it's easy for you, as it is for me, to breathe some words of encouragement into their life, but you end up saving the harshest judgments and words for yourself. Correct it. It felt so good when I reached out and got that sentence back of be kind to yourself and then chose to do just that. I knew that I could bring my best self to you and give back the things that I have in my heart. But I can't do that when I'm lacking the exact necessities that I need for my life, my own relaxation, my own mindfulness, my own journaling, my own reflection, my own honoring of the person that my father in law that I lost in my own personal way, as well as being able to support my family. This is the journey that brings us peace. That's why having Mental Health Awareness Month is actually a powerful thing for us to consider because it's not only about the mental health of maybe others and how we can be kind to others. It's about how are we being kind to ourselves? How are you being kind to yourself? When I reflect upon my father in law and his life on earth, he had many moments of his life where he had ups and downs and in his own mental health and his own struggles with his mental well-being, I guess you can say, based with the things that he went through in his life and his personal journey. And I believe in the time that he was growing up, things were looked at differently when it comes to mental health, when it comes to counseling. That I know and you know that there's still a stigma out there about people, oh, they went to therapy, but it's less. It's a lot less. In many circles and in many incidences, mental health is celebrated. If you go and you get your therapy and counseling, it doesn't matter whether you're uh, a firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, male, female, it doesn't matter. When you take care of your mental health, it's not only accepted, it's expected in today's world. That wasn't so much the world that my father-in-law grew up in. And I remember having a conversation with him where I said, I was trying to be extra bold and said, some of these things that are hard for you, have you ever talked to anybody about it besides family? Have you ever reached out and gotten any support, maybe some counseling? And uh, and he was like, "Oh no, no, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life." And I couldn't help but wonder how his life would have been altered, changed, enriched if his mental outlook was saying, I am going to take care of my brain in the same way that I need to take care of my body. In the same way that I need to go to the doctor if I broke my leg, I need to be willing to get the help that I need to recover from some of the things that were very tough. I think back in just the things I know about his life, and I know he had lots of hardships and trauma that he had as he was growing up. And did he ever fully heal from them? I wasn't able to have those deeper conversations with him, but based on the events of his life, it seems to me that he's a picture of someone that would have thrived getting the mental health that he needed, but he failed to do so. Not his fault. Things were looked differently then. I get it. But in my personal reflection of his life and celebrating the good and being real about the struggles, I thought, I'm going to continue helping as many people as I can to have a positive image, a positive outlook towards getting help for their mind, getting help for their well being, getting help for their stress and trauma. And I'm going to commit to that even stronger. And it really makes me smile to do that because it makes my heart happy and it makes me know that there are people that hopefully will be able to move on a completely different path of renewing their mind and using their mind for everything that God has created them. Our mind is amazing. It can be used in so many wonderful ways, but it can also be stifled. And I believe that the reason why we're told, um, even by the Bible, that I lean on scripture quite often in my life. And it says in Psalms that we need to, that only the fools ignore wise counsel. And thought about that verse when I decided to become a counselor. And I thought, we are to look at counseling as a positive thing. We are to look at that as an important thing in our life. But back when I became a counselor, I didn't even know all of the brain research that I know now about how our brain is constantly renewing and growing and changing and has the ability to function in a level that we never thought possible as we focus on what we hope to achieve, on our future, on the place that we want to go, rather than fixating on our past or being stuck in our present in a way that doesn't help us move forward. Now, you have been on a journey with me through many podcasts, if you've been a listener through the years, of growth and change. And I bet there are things in your life that you can think of that are brand new in your life compared to years ago, that you can't even think about how things were. Like, what? I used to think that way. That is the same amount of change that you can have in the year to come as we continue with the journey of being okay with the change that we need to make for ourselves, for our mental health. So, as we are finishing Mental Health Awareness Month, I have had so many eye opening thoughts and experiences that will help me move forward. Now, right smack in the middle, to go back to how my month went, here we are in the middle of the month. I'm going to take you back there, and we're dealing with the loss of my father in law. And many of you know that I've been waking up early every single morning and going to the same gym and working out with my favorite fitness coach, Karen. You can look back and I have some podcasts about that. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Well, I come to one of my workouts after I haven't been able to go because of all of this stuff. And I find out that the gym is closing their doors. For whatever reason, that gym is going to be closing completely. And therefore, all of those classes that I've been leaning on for my own personal health and choosing to use that as my avenue of staying physically healthy is going to be gone. Um, the other things I have to say goodbye to are seeing those people every single day that I saw and having my coach, my fitness coach, Karen, there motivating me every single morning. And I'll tell you what, it felt like a huge blow after the things I had already been struggling with. You know, when we have big things that are happening in our life and our mind is sorting it out and we're figuring it out, something like a gym closing, where maybe we could have wrapped our mind around it pretty easily, might feel harsher. And that's kind of what I went through. So I thought, what? How could this be? And I began to think about the ending of it all and the dread of how sad it was. And I remember a conversation that I had probably just a few days ago with my husband where I said, I can't believe that I have to rethink my physical fitness and what I'm going to do and how my workouts are going to be, when I'm going to do them, how I'm going to do them. I can't believe I have to do that. And then he said back to me, no, you get to do that. I just love it when the people in my life reflect back to me the words that I've said to them many times. And again, it was a moment of clarity and a moment uh, that I will treasure because I had to reframe it in that moment. That is what having a focused mindset is all about. I had to reframe it and I'm never going to think of it the same again. I get to open this new journey of what I'm going to do to work out and what my fitness is going to look at and when I work out, how early I wake up. Now, you better bet that I'm still going to be waking up early and working out because this class that I've been in and working out with Karen even before that in the pandemic showed me the power of waking up early and how sharp my mind will be and how much clarity I have. And I'm thankful for that lesson in my life. I'm going to carry it with me. Maybe some days I'll choose to wake up early and do writing instead and then work out later, but that will be the new journey that I'm on. And I'm going to choose to look at it like I get to do that. I get to sort out, even with you right here, the things that I've walked through in May. And I get to move forward with a new clarity, with a new purpose, with a new even reverence and humility at how quickly our mind can feel tired and go to a negative place. And remembering that when you go through that, you're not alone. And I know how you feel. And I'm glad even for these hard times that we go through. I wish, that it's not like I wish the negative on me, but the fact that it happened, I'm going to use it for the purpose of good. And I hope that you can do the same. We're walking out of a season of this school year for those that have kids and or if you work in the education system. We're saying goodbye to people. We're moving to a new chapter, maybe a new grade level, a new maybe a new adventure, even at a new school. These things are, they can feel like an end that's very sad, but then we can also say we're walking into a brand new space, a new chapter. And let's place our mind there. Let's place our mind out to the possibilities that are endless, the possibilities of how we might transform, how we plan to transform, and what might come up that will be an open door that will fulfill the very thing that our soul has been wanting to do, that we don't even know how it's going to happen yet. Believe that the journey that we're on is leading towards our best personal growth and our best being our best self. I know that together we can walk towards our brightest future, even when we've gone through a valley. I encourage you to do that. I know that I'm going to be right there beside you. And if you know anybody that is going through a hard time, maybe they also had a rough month, whatever month you're listening to this in, or they have a season of hardship, feel free to share this episode with them. I give you full permission to post it on, I don't know, Facebook pages, wherever the people that you know usually will click on the link. And as we share this message, see then we are being a part of not only being kind to ourselves, but being kind to others and having compassion on each person's personal journey. So I hope this encourages you today. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if you would like the marvelous May And from now on, I'm going to put that marvelous in air quotes. Uh, if you would like that resource that I did put together, I have each and every week, I have 7 videos that I shared with my email community already, but I'm going to put it in one document and send it out in a week or so, just for anyone who wants to save it, download it, and use them for whatever. There are subjects like why sleep is important, the power of exercise, how to communicate, how to speak up for yourself, all of these different areas. And you can get those, like I said, you can email me at share at the focused mindset, or I have a link on my homepage where you can get my hope notes and my newsletter, and then that will be automatically sent to you for free. You know, the Solution Focused Schools Unlimited conference is coming up. And last week, or actually, well, technically, it was on the 15th of May. I did an episode with Dr. Linda Medcalf and talked to you guys about it. Well, I'm going to put a link in the show notes about that conference as well, because I would love to see you there. I'm going to be speaking, but there's many wonderful solution focused speakers that will just expand your mind on how you can be more solution focused in the year to come. So, if you don't want to click to the show notes, just go to Solution Focused Schools Unlimited Conference 2023. And I also would love for each and every one of you to go into the summer with my writing journal, 30 Days to Higher Hopes. You can raise your hope level just by walking through the steps of journaling, especially in the way that I put them in 30 Days to Higher Hopes, because it's built on research, it's built on um, the proven hope, I guess, the way that hope works in our life, that we need to actually pay attention to our best hopes and then focus on how we can walk towards that future. And you can do that more effectively with 3 Days to Higher Hopes, available on Amazon. And it's time for me to get moving, get walking into the next space I need to be. Let's make our day amazing and live solution focused. Before you go, don't forget to check the show notes, where I'm going to leave the links to my social media and the different places you can find me. And I want to invite you to be a part of my email community. It's absolutely free. And this year I'm doing so much writing and so much reflecting, and I want to send things directly to you. I send the special notes to my email community, and you can email me right back. You have a direct line to ask me questions without any barriers of a website or anything. Check the show notes for that link, or go to thefocusedmindset.com. And if you click on getting the journal prompts, you also automatically are able to be a part of my community. And if you're interested in supporting this program, there's 3 ways to do it. 1, make sure you're following this program so it comes up as one of your favorites. 2, share it either on your social media or with someone you love straight to their email. And the 3rd is to leave a review, and I love reading those. By supporting this program, we're helping people be solution focused. See you next week.